Hey, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're back with another Stargate SG-1. This is Season 2, Episode 6, called Thor's Chariot. I'm really looking forward to this episode, because the last Thor story, Thor's Hammer, was really good. I'm hoping this one is pretty much the same. And I hope we learn a bit more about Thor and his people. It would be really cool if we actually got to see Thor and his people, but that, I'm not sure. That may be a little bit too early in the series to get that. But that would be a pleasant surprise. I don't think there's much more else to be said. Full uncut unedited reaction is available on Patreon, listed in the description below, as well as my social media accounts, that's Facebook and Twitter. Without further ado, let's just get straight on into this episode.
P5C-629 is located directly in the corridor the Goa'ulds use to reach our solar system. This is our best platform for the Seeker project. Now, the theory is that a Goa'uld ship of that magnitude would leave a footprint, even at thrust beyond light speed. So, using the technology we already possess, we can determine...
Interesting to see they're setting up bases in the galaxy.
No one's due back today.
We have an inbound traveler, no SG signal.
Oh, it's a bit sound.
Intruder alert. Inbound traveler is unauthorized.
Did destroy their degoulding thing. Might not they look unkindly on that?
That is a true possibility.
Would trap a Jaffa who isn't an enemy. I'm sure they'd understand.
You'd think any advanced race would be capable of
I'll tell you what,
reason.
We'll send a probe through at 1300 hours. If everything checks out, you have a go.
I think it's a pity they always use the same footage there, but I understand it's not exactly cheap to keep recording new scenes each time, especially if they're going to be similar.
Friend of yours, too?
The Ettins are there. For 1,000 years, Samaria was safe from Ghoul
Ettin, is that a Stargate made-up word, or is it a real
advanced scout through the Stargate to determine the planet's worth.
what do you call it? Norse
If one of the
word.
scouts reports back, it is a deterrent to invasion.
Point is, sir, the Goa'uld are there, and the locals aren't exactly much of a match for them.
General, if we did screw up their world, we should take a little responsibility for fixing it, don't you think?
Very true.
I understand that. But let me play devil's advocate for a moment here. It's not our world. Is it really
You can't
any of our
just
concern?
keep going from
The
planet
destruction
to
of the Hammer
planet
to save
and
my life may have
causing
consequences.
damage and
If so,
just wiping your hands clean.
General? I gave the order.
And I fired the staff at the machine.
And I was there.
To answer your question, sir, yes, I think we should be concerned.
all right.
It's good. Take
Keep your
responsibility.
heads up on this one.
Because let's face it, it is their fault that this has happened. And I like we're seeing the consequences of some of their actions now.
No hostiles in sight, sir. Half of our people.
You can see her anger, it's very subtle. The anger is towards SG-1,
It's
but
customary to leave a person's
she's
favorite items
trying
outside
to
the
control
building
it.
to take with them on their journey to Thor. These items are... You possess the power.
Is that because she
Well, that
had
would make
the
sense, wouldn't
symbiote in her?
Why?
Well, Kendra retained the ability to use Gould technology because she used to be a host to a Gould. You must retain the ability because you were a host to Jolinar.
Yeah, but I have no control over this.
Kendra said it took her years to master the magic of the power.
Okay.
You ready to move out of here? Little discovery here.
Well, that's pretty
Since you have
cool.
the ability
Sam
to
could
use
have
Gould
one of
technology.
those force fields around her.
Let's see.
Well, it seems to have a...
Thank you.
What's with the heads?
Oh, it's the movie guys.
Look like those guys that used to be with Ra back on Abydos.
Yeah, that's right.
They are Horus. They guard the family of Ra. These probably guard the gold Heru'ur.
And he'd be Ra's what? Cousin? Uncle? What?
He is the son of Ra and of Hathor.
Ooh, damn.
Nice pedigree.
Yeah.
He's a very powerful system lord, much feared even among.
I would have liked to have seen Ra in the series, though.
He is a conqueror. He eliminates.
Oh, nice shot, too. So Apophis has the sort of the snake helmet. This guy has the same helmet as Ra's guards.
This is it.
This is the Hall of Might?
You were
Well,
expecting
it's not
something different?
exactly a hall.
Well,
Oh, yeah, if you say so.
Not sure she would understand that, no matter how you would explain it to her. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
somehow we have to prove
I
that
can't
we're worthy
pronounce her
before
name
he
very
trusts
well.
us with his might.
Garowin
Which you still think is...
would
a...
understand.
I'm hoping so at this point.
How can we prove our worth?
Well, given that the rest of the room is empty, I assume it has something to do with this stone.
What the hell is that?
Thor is preparing to strike us down!
No, he's not! He's not a wrathful god.
Well, then what is he doing? It's okay. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Erwin. Just slide across it. You can do it.
Thor shook the beam. He wants me dead.
No, he doesn't.
It's okay, just stay there. I'll come and get you.
No. I'll do it. You're already across.
And then we're gonna finish this thing together, okay? Okay.
Oh! Fuck. Shit. Scared the hell out of me. What the hell? Oh. Jeez, I literally thought they were dead.
You guys okay? So, what was that all about?
Well, I knew Daniel wasn't, because, as I said in the last episode, I know he's in later series as well.
You've
So.
shown true selflessness and bravery. Willingness to sacrifice oneself to save another is an honorable trait. I salute you. Now you must add wisdom to courage.
Thunder and fire. You do possess Thor's might.
Okay. They aren't letters or words. Originally, runes were ideographic.
So each rune stands for an idea.
Right. Now, the first one is associated with Thor's protective power.
Well, that could mean anything. And it could be the Gould detector they put up at the gate, or even the hammer device.
This last one represents a wagon, but it was also called Thor's Chariot. Now, that could be a spaceship.
Great. What about the middle two?
Okay, so Thor's
One's a
Chariot.
dice cup or fate. The other is a horse or...
Olaf, get your people as far back into the cave as possible. Keep them quiet. Put the fires out. How we doing?
We have been located, O'Neill.
Come on, Daniel.
Possible. Samaria is a safe world.
Yeah, we sort of messed that up.
Ooh, Daniel, careful.
Hey, you gotta be honest with
We
me.
are friends. We have to show them that they can trust us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, we came here about a year ago to meet you and your people to make an alliance against the Gould. One of our party, a Jaffa, was trapped in your labyrinth.
The Jaffa serve the gold.
This one does not.
And this was a really good episode. Now it's an excellent episode.
You see, so we had no choice but to destroy that.
You're getting pretty close. How many are out there?
We are outnumbered approximately 20 to 1.
Daniel, you look suspiciously empty-handed. Yeah, what?
There's nothing, Jack.
Nothing.
Well, we did meet the real Thor.
Did you now? Nice fella.
Before they rode into battle, the Sioux used to say, "This is a good." This is Thor's Chariot.
An Asgard mothership. I've heard them described in Jaffa legend.
Well, he said that, like us, you're still much too young.
That makes sense. From a more advanced
For us,
race
there
point
is
of
still
view.
much to rebuild. Thor has promised to leave an Asgard teacher behind to help us.
Then Samaria will be a safe world again.
Yeah, and it will be educated to a higher
I'll
level.
tell you that Thor's new hammer will make an exception for the one called Teal'c. You are
That-
welcome here anytime.
That's nice. That's really good. That even the Asgard recognize that Teal'c is a friend, not an enemy. I really, really enjoyed that episode. I'm gonna give that episode a high 8, maybe a low 9, but it was damn good, I tell you. It was really, really good. I think this one, frankly, is better than the first Thor one. We were introduced to Thor, who was Roswell Grey Thor. So I think this is really good and really sets up the future as well, with maybe the Asgard returning and becoming a much bigger part of this Stargate universe. So that will be really exciting. I don't see it happening this series, maybe mid to late next series. I think we could start to see the Asgard maybe introduced more. That's just a theory. I think at the end of this season we're going to see the Tok'ra introduced, and maybe at the end of next season we'll see the Asgard introduced. But let's break this episode down anyway. We start off, we're in the SGC, we're planning to set up a planet where they'll be able to detect Gould ships coming towards Earth. Then we have that box that they left on Samaria, I can't remember how to pronounce it. And because it had some sort of radioactive signature in it, they were able to detect that it was that. They send them out through, and they find that the Goa'uld have basically invaded that planet. General Hammond sort of plays devil advocate here. He's like, it's not our world, but we need to realize, as a people, you have to realize that you can't just trample around the galaxy and not take responsibility for your actions. Literally, that planet was vulnerable because of the actions of SG-1. It's literally their duty to fix the problem, or at least try and fix the problem, because, yeah, you can't just go to a planet, destroy their defenses, wash your hands clean, and say, oh yeah, they ended up invaded, it's not our fault, let's just move on. So they end up going to the planet, where they see that a Goa'uld pyramid is being built. We're reintroduced to Garuan, who says to get the message through, it was her husband and brothers that fought the Jafar at the gate, killing them. But they also got killed at the same time, so that's unfortunate. Then we get into a bit of a conflict with the Jafar of this Harrower, I think was his name. Then they end up going to Kendra's grave. I like this scene. You can sort of see Garuan's anger that she feels towards SG-1, but yet also knowing that she has to curve back her anger because SG-1 are the only ones that can help them. So I like that. Sort of, at least that's my interpretation of how the actress was portraying the character. Here we also learn that Sam has the power to use Goa'uld technology because she had that Tok'ra planted in her in the second episode. Obviously, two of the defensive guards very ticked off at SG-1 and think, no, you can't come near us because you did this to us. Garuan's saying Thor may have abandoned him. Daniel sort of explaining that no, maybe he's just far away. Here we see new pyramids being built. We find out that the guards are like the ones that were in the movie, although I think the movie one, the eyes were blue, but it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so maybe one of you can clarify that for me. Then that guy is captured and we're introduced to Harrower, and Tilk uses a gun instead of his staff weapon. And open fire, killing the Jafar and obviously shooting Harrower's shield. Here we're talking about a hole of Thor's might and that there are weapons there possibly. Here we are introduced to a hole, and all of a sudden, basically after the hologram talks to them, the entire ground collapses and basically have to walk over the beam. So then Garuan does it after Sam, and she ends up Daniel tries to save her, but they both end up falling. I got the shock of my life, literally. I thought both of them were dead. It gave me a shock of my life. And I know Daniel's in later seasons and I shouldn't have thought like that, but yeah, it just, the suddenness of it made me think, my God, they're dead. Then they're transported to the next test, which is the riddle of the runes. Here, Tilk and Jack are fighting the Jafar alongside with that other man. Basically, Daniel's having a hard time solving the runes. He's not sure. He can't solve it. Then he asks the hologram to give him some more time, and they realize that it's pi. Then this is a really cool bit. We're introduced to the real Asgard, which are Roswell Gray's sort of aliens, which is really cool. Here we have them finally surrendering and to avoid the rest of the people of this planet being killed. Taken away, and then the Asgard mothership comes here, and the design looks pretty cool. I think I like this design better than the Gould Pyramid ships, to be frankly honest. But I'd like to get a better look at it. I think seeing it in space would be a lot better. And then that's the end of it. Okay, so that was my breakdown of Stargate SG-1 Season 2, Episode 6, Thor's Chariot. Really enjoyed that. I'm going to give it a strong 8. I'm not willing to go up to a 9, I don't think. I'm cautious with my scoring. So I'm just going to give it a high 8 for now. That may change. It may go lower, may go higher. Depends as the series goes along. I don't think there's much more else to be said. Hopefully the series continues to get better and better, and I will see you next time. Bye.